Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is Wednesday, the 12th of January. I remembered the month this time. We are having a little abbreviated show with the Knowledge Bolide crew, sponsored by Topherspin Meteorites. We're discussing Tucson show. We're on the cusp of the show starting, and we're super jazzed about it. I need to pack up and get out of here, but we're having a little hangout to make sure that we share our excitement and some of our experiences at Tucson show with the group. So I wanted to just say real quickly that the Tucson show is a rock, gem, mineral, and everything else show with meteorites tacked on the end. It's definitely not 100% meteorites. Most of the stuff there does not appeal to me. It's all terrestrial stuff. So there's a lot of hunting going on and a lot of communication to find the right vendors with meteorites. But the rock show isn't in Tucson like it is somewhere else, where it pops up in one location and everyone goes there, everyone vends there. It's up for a fixed period of time, and then that place closes down and the show is over. The Tucson show really takes over the town. There's pop-up sales and shows everywhere, and each show will have its own little focus, whether it's turquoise jewelry and stuff like that, or whether it's big amethyst things. So just know that when you look at the schedule online and you see that the official dates are January 28th through February 13th, that's the all-encompassing dates of all the shows. And there's like 22, 25 different shows within the Tucson show. And with that being said, there's also different types of merchant or different vendors that are selling at the show. So the top tier vendors are going to be at the indoor shows where you're walking around and everything looks like a museum and you can't touch anything and don't dare let a kid run loose in there. And they'll gladly wrap it up in cashmere for you and carry it out to your car. And you pay through the nose for that experience, but you get the highest quality stuff possible. And I'm not knocking it at all. Then you drop down a level and you have vendors that I'm familiar with in the meteorite world, where they give you it's all classified name stuff. It's all weighed out. It's priced out. Everything's clearly marked. You get a COA with your purchase, a certificate of authenticity before you walk out. And that's kind of like the mid-level. And then there's the other tier. I'm not calling it a lower tier, but the other tier of our friends from Northwest Africa who travel to the shows, and they have a boatload of stones with them. And most of the time it's paired material or it's unclassified material. You don't get a COA and you don't get that whole wrapped in cashmere experience. But so those are like the three tiers of vendors. Does anyone have an opinion or a thought on that as well? It's good to see a little bit of everything. Go into the top tier places inside where everything's nicely displayed in beautiful glass. That could be an experience you have during the show where you say, look, today I'm going to hold back on spending money. I'm just going to go somewhere where I can't afford anything. You walk in, you enjoy the museum for what it is, the highest caliber examples out there. And, that's your experience for the day. So there's a lot of things to do in Tucson. And we actually have a semi-live check-in right now from one of our friends and dealers. This is someone who I bought some of my first dozen or so meteorites from. So we're going to check in with him and his wife. Does anyone have any guesses who it is?
Ashley and John.
There you go. And we're cutting to the video. Nice, good guess. Yeah, they're actually in Tucson right now, so they're going to give us a semi-live check-in. So today, I didn't mention, but it is our 88th weekly in a row without missing one. And there's Marissa's thin section photography behind that. So thank you, Marissa.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Now we're checking in with Ashley and John.
Hi guys, my name's Ashley Humphreys and I am a meteorite and mineral dealer. I'm currently standing at one of the Tucson show locations right now as we speak. Some people open up really early. They get here like a week early, so you gotta camp out if you want to get the best stuff, and that's what I'm here doing. Here's some of the pendants. Right now these are mostly gemstones and minerals, nothing meteorite related yet, but it's on the way. I've been doing this about 4 years now, since my husband We got together, got married, and he's been doing it closer to 20 now. What do I expect Tucson to be like this year? I think it's going to be a bit busier. Over the last couple of years, the foot traffic just wasn't here because either the vendors couldn't get here or the people couldn't. But it's starting to come back. People are coming. For those of you who can't make it, we started doing live sales. So I will broadcast live, usually from Mark Lyon's room, and I'll show off all the cool stuff that he's got, and we help get people stuff who otherwise wouldn't be able to get it because they can't be here. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with everyone. It's going to be awesome. One of the very best things about the Tucson Mineral Show, at least for me, is the people. I have made so many friends. I have met so many cool people from all over the planet, not just this country, but many countries. Some of the nicest dealers from Russia, many countries in Africa. I mean, there's Germany. I mean, you name it. And I look forward to getting to hang out with them when the sun goes down. That's when the fun happens. That's when we can all just hang out. We don't have to be dealers. It's not about business anymore. I mean, we're running from sun up to sundown. And as soon as the sun goes down, then that's when we go hang out in someone's room and we have after parties. We bring a couple bottles of wine or bring some beer, whatever you're drinking, order some pizzas, and we tell stories about meteorite hunting, stories about the show, stupid stuff that we've done or other people have, and we laugh and we have so much fun doing it. We all get to know each other a little bit better on a personal level, and that's really special to me because I love some of these people, and it really sucks that I don't get to see them year round. The Tucson show is it, so I'm looking forward to that. Topher's going to be here, Blaine Reed, Hans, let's see, Klaus is here, Matthew Martin is going to be here today. We're actually going to try to have lunch or dinner with him. Ruben Garcia and his sidekick Bob, they're always walking around. Sometimes Jeff Notkin is here. I know Beth from Aerolite, she'll be here. And let's see, God, there's so many people, I couldn't name them all, but they're all going to be here. We just have to figure out where they're at. Some of the locations have changed. They've changed rooms. They're not in the same place that they've always been every year, but that's okay. We'll find them, and it's all about the after parties, man. It's a lot of fun. So hopefully I'll see you guys here.
Come on, we're at the show. I'm John Humphreys. Don't have time to fool around. I do meteorites for a living. Ta-da! Picked up some brochures.
How long?
Hand them out with the eBay things for like 20 years, give or take a decade. And this is live. It's like, I don't know.
What's your favorite part of the show?
Every day's a Saturday. It's like the 18th, I think. The show starts a week from now. Take a look around. What are you guys doing at home? Why are you guys at home?
Well, this is how you get the best
Show what's happening. Come on. We got oh, here comes my Libyan desert glass delivery.
John, what's your favorite part about the show?
The rocks, the meteorites, the dealers, my friends. My friends. Hello, my friend.
And what do you think the show is going to be
money.
like this year?
It's going to be crazy because I got... Oh, you're not here? I can't buy your stuff. You ain't here.
Oh, God, stop.
Okay, peace out.
Now, what do you think the show is going to be like this year? Do you think it's going to be busier?
It's gonna be good. Yeah, there are lots of tents up all over the place already. 22nd Street even has more tents than they usually do, which is a sign of that they're expanding. The main hub in Suites is the main hub, Tucson, Hotel Tucson. They're going to have stuff there. It's not like it's going to be because they totally screwed themselves by not having a show at all. But all around town, it's going to be great. It's going to be a blast. People are here already. You guys are sitting there at home doing whatever you're doing. You got to be in Tucson.
Thank you very much, Ashley and John. I appreciate that live check-in. This is my video of my experience in Tucson over, I think, the last 2 years. What is Amara doing over here? That's your box of booty?
So far.
All right. See what Pat and Jason are up to in here. There's Pat. Jason,
Okay.
we got the whole world watching us now.
Okay.
Yeah. Check out that.
I'll take 3 of those.
Yeah. Some Agadol. Look at that. Ishmael. Right on. Look at that stack. All right, guys, we're going to post more and more. Oh, geez. Just pick one. Which one do you want to take home, guys? That's a trick question because you can't just take one. Uniana Lista, rhodium plated. Just absolutely gorgeous with the etch on it. And it is stable and will not. However you want your meteorite, they'll shape it. I actually bought 3 sister slices. And this meteorite here is valued at $1.6 million.
So that's an ET's room, isn't it?
Yep, exactly. That's the main nest.
I have handled that meteorite.
Trust I've ever seen covering an MOAC. It is just absolutely gorgeous.
Holy smokes.
And this prettiest almost. Look at that. Are you in love? I am. Oh my. Here's a almost 900 gram Galamis. Now it's known as Gadamis from Libya. It's an L6. Just gorgeous. Really beautiful. Little fusion crust bits. I have 2.5 kilos of oriented NWA, and we
That
have
thing is incredible.
separation. So it's just, I would love to own that, or this. Look at this hunk of moon with that humongous class that goes all the way through it.
Oh, that's a big chunk of moon.
There's Cameron and Travis outside cutting at the Meteorite Mansion. I have a better saw and a better lap this time. Tucson, Arizona.
Now, how cold was it out there when you guys were doing that?
It's pretty cold. Our fingers were cold. We're all wearing beanies, and yeah, you don't stay out there too long unless you're highly motivated.
On this one, because the bowel percentage is balance of.
What does bowel percent mean? I don't understand
that. Means that's how much of the sample we don't know what it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey. My brother from another continent. This is a cool little Serrat show right here.
Was that Sean Mahoney?
Yep.
All right.
Here we are looking at a bunch of moldavite, some hedgehog.
Given the current market for that stuff, are we looking at a treasure trove there?
Oh yeah, and they would only sell that that case in red. They'd only sell that as a lot.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
It's a very expensive lot, even at dealer discount.
Yeah.
Very nice moldavite.
And there's just amazing amounts of pallasites. A lot of the Russians have a lot of pallasites. And you got some translucency of the olivines and a beautiful amber color. Yes. And just put it here. Just gorgeous colors. I haven't even looked through these bins yet, but I'm already seeing some. Oh,
wow!
I'm already, yeah. Yeah, the first one I picked out is like
sculpted. Yeah, nice.
Boy, I could spend hours just digging through this Cotalin box.
I've worn out a few eye loops looking at one bin one day. Yeah. No, it's really fun to get together and oh, look at this beautiful class all the way through it. Yeah, that is a lunar sample.
Is that close to a record for an individual lunar there?
I don't know, but it's massive.
Well, your heart rate must have really been up doing that lunar video there.
Yeah, I loved it.
Is that Michael?
Yeah, there's a little bit of anything and everything that you want there, whether it's, you know, irons, pallasites, unclassified, classified.
NWA heaven.
Yeah, exactly. Lunars laying around.
Lunars for $30 a gram.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Where's
25.
the Martian? Where are the Martians?
Good deal.
Yeah, so there you have it, my folks. That kind of encapsulates what my Tucson experience is about. A lot of time with friends, a lot of time, as we talked about over the Hangouts, you know, buying something and going back to the Meteorite Mansion, checking it out under the microscope, getting in the queue for the saw, cutting it outside under cell phone light, then running back inside to take pictures of it under this microscope and asking everyone's opinion, and then going back tomorrow and get some more if it's really that nice. So that's kind of what the experience is for me, a lot of it. I'd love to talk to you guys about how you prepare for and how you get the most out of your rock shows. Does anyone, what is your list of needed items that you have to bring to a rock show? Ben?
Okay, so what I like to take is always bring your business cards, because it takes too long to write things out. Always take your business cards and a pen, a small magnet of any kind that you can get, nice little pocket magnet. If you're working on looking for NWAs that might be something worth buying, bring an old toothbrush to clean with, a pocket scale, a loop, a stronger magnet for testing unclassified NWAs, labels, because the dealers don't always have labels, and if they do, they run out fast. Baggies. I bring 4 sizes of baggies because they will run out of those too. And if you can, a show guide, the one that comes from the Meteorite Exchange that they print up every year, is very handy. Now, that's not all the dealers, but that's a lot of them. And those are the things I bring.
Wow, that was well done. That you can tell this man's been to a few shows. That's awesome.
Oh, and don't forget a backpack to carry water and snacks, because you're going to be on foot for a long time, and that way you won't dehydrate or get low blood sugar.
Fantastic. That's great. Mike, what do you have to add to that?
Hey, how's everyone doing? So there's a couple things that I bring too with me. So I'm gonna flip my camera around, turn you sideways. I also bring a black light. So I know we had a lot of Albright found, and hopefully some of that's there. And some of the Albright is fluorescent. So even if you're just using it on meteorites, you got that fluoresces. You got some things inside of carbonaceous meteorites, sometimes fluoresce. So it's good to have one of those. Definitely bring a magnet. Wonder where that came from.
Nice.
But magnet, double loop, lots of cash. Gotta have that. And the other thing that I was going to say is, like Ben said, you're walking around, you're on your feet a long time. But, you know, if you're scoping out prices and options and everything else, you're probably also on your phone quite a bit. So I also make sure I bring a battery backup charger, you know, because if you want to be scoping things out and comparing them, make sure you're getting a deal, stuff like that. You'll probably be on the phone a bit.
I could not agree more. You ticked a few more things off my list. So I'm going to add, you said batteries for your cell phone, and Ben said scales. Well, I actually bring multiple sets of batteries for my scales and multiple sets of batteries for my eye loops, because I'll be there for 16 days. And the last thing you want to be doing is when you have a nice bin of Sakota lens and you finally got to the honey pot of the really, really nice oriented one with drips and stuff, and your eye loop fails and you're like, crap. So
you mentioned going through the essays too. I would also say, bring a rag or hand wipes or baby wipes and stuff to because a lot of that's the irons and stuff. They'll sit there and soak them in oil. So if you're going to pour through all those trays, you might want to be able to clean your hands off afterwards before you move on to touch something else that's not really fit for having oil over it.
Well, it's just Russian transmission fluid.
Yeah.
Well, do any of the dealers require patrons to wear gloves if it's a particularly expensive box of meteorite specimens?
You won't be able to get close enough to something that they don't want you to touch without your glove. But that's one of the great things about what I do at Tucson is I'm going to be live streaming a bunch, but I'm also going to be capturing a bunch of video and releasing it through the year. So I'm going to give you that experience of being in the High Roller Society. I get access to the cabinets that are just left open so I can film and touch pieces. So you're not able to do that, but if you know the right people or if you're a serious buyer, then absolutely, they're not going to hold it away from you. But if you just want to sit there and go and touch priceless meteorites, it's probably not the best way to try to spend someone's day. I have one thing to add regarding the magnet. I bring the same exact magnet every single time. And I know you're not supposed to show things on the webcam, but I bring the exact same magnet every single time. I bought a 12-pack of them and they're identical. So every time I test a rock, even if I lose this one, I'll grab the next one and it's the same exact magnet and I can touch and know, and I've learned this magnet and how this reacts to LL, to L, and to H's. So I know the draw of the potential meteorite or sample that I'm looking at. We have Sue with her hand up. Sue, what you got for us?
Did anyone mention chapstick and sunscreen? Both are very important in Arizona.
Yeah. Sunscreen.
Yeah.
If you're, I back her up on the chapstick. I travel with like 5 chapsticks, so it's never more than a foot away from me, so I can just use it when needed. Obviously, if you're going to be out at the outdoor shows and going to be spending a lot of time looking at your samples in the sunlight, you want to wear like maybe your meteorite hunting hat, something with a brim on it as well. Mike alluded to something just a few minutes ago. He had his wallet with his wads of 20s hanging out. Plastic is not your friend at the Tucson show unless you're going up to those higher level or the different level of vendors. If you're going to somewhere where it's the Tiffany of minerals, they're going to take any method of payment you have. It's amazing how many of our wonderful and dear Northwest African friends and brothers have never heard of PayPal when they get to Tucson.
Yeah, it's okay to buy from them direct with PayPal, but not at the show.
Yeah. So I would give some advice to get the most out of the show. This is something that I'm self-teaching or trying to and self-emulating. I'm going to be there for 16 days. I could have a great 4 days and a very boring 12 days if I don't play my money right, because it's going to really, really suck to be brokenhearted and broken walleted by day 6, and I still have 10 more days to go. So
the good news is there's an ATM at most of those hotels.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely come prepared with cash. If you're interested in buying something and you're short on cash, ask if they take any other method of payment, if they can negotiate a little bit with you. Tucson is great because you can negotiate with people. Especially if you're buying multiple pieces, every vendor is going to love for you to bundle 2 or 3 things off of different tables, put them all together and make an offer. And my only 2 cents to that is I play both sides. I mean, I buy and sell at different shows. as long as you're asking something within reason, feel fine. But if you're going to offer something just because you're like, wow, if he accepts this, I'm like, oh my God, then don't offer it. It's an insult, and this person's traveled across the planet to get here to vend for you. And a little bit of respect goes a long way. If you make a reasonable offer, they may very well accept it. We are looking forward to having a bunch of people here in the group down with us in Tucson. Looking forward to Chris being there as well. Cameron in the building as well is going to be there with his wife Jody, and Marissa. Beautiful Marissa is going to be there, as well as Pat Brown.
Stephen Amara.
Yeah, Stephen Amara is going to be there.
Yeah.
There's Mike Kelly is going to be there, staying at the mansion as well. So there's going to be a lot of people there. It's going to be a good show. It may not be the most attended show, but if you hang out with the right people, you can milk the most out of life. So that's kind of what we're doing, and we're going for it. So I implore everyone to stay tuned on Facebook for my live warnings. I don't really have a schedule, so when I find somewhere good and I'm in the mood and the vendor has agreed to it, I will go live and I'll give like an hour warning on Facebook. Just keep in mind, some vendors ask not to film. Don't catch me ever on video. Don't catch any prices. I don't want any audio recorded, because if you catch me negotiating, so there's some restrictions put on me, and I have to work with the vendors on that. But I'll work that ahead of time, give you guys a warning, and hopefully we can get the most out of the show together. So,
do you give any newbies at the show for the first time any kind of like Meteorite 101 introduction to what you're looking at?
I'm literally just going to be broadcasting. Like, I'll walk into a place, show you the full name of the place, their business card. I usually show that for the first like 5-10 seconds, so you know exactly who I am, give them full credit for what I'm doing, and then walk in and just film the 5 shelves that I've already kind of familiarized myself with a little bit. And knowing that I don't know the history of every meteorite, I don't know all the classifications, I'm not a know-it-all. I just run a group. So I do my best to narrate as I go. I'll mispronounce things, I'll call things what they're not, but I'll try to zoom in on the labels, and that's my only saving grace. So,
Topher,
mm-hmm.
When things are different, and there's not the virus to worry about, you did teach that class that one time on I think finding the value of the meteorite, but we can't do that this year, obviously. But in the future years, I don't know. I think you should tell them a little bit about what you talked about, because I think it was really cool.
Oh yeah. Due to the restrictions that we have on us in meeting with large groups, especially in an Airbnb, I really can't have large groups at the Meteorite Mansion, overly large groups. So like 2 years ago, I did the Meteorite Mansion, and I did a presentation called the 5 S's of Meteorite Valuation, a half-hour, 40-minute presentation of basically what makes what goes into the value of a meteorite as a collector and from a science point of view. So we're not able to do that again this year, but we do have something that we are going to go live with on Facebook, and it's probably going to be the 29th of January, whatever day of the week that is. It's a Friday or Saturday. Daniel Shake, who is the meteorite classifier to the stars, will be at the Meteorite Mansion, and he is going to be giving us a demonstration and a conversation with a meteorite classifier of over 200 meteorites, thin sections under the microscope and on the large screen TV. So that's something that we're able to have a smaller controllable group within policy at the Meteorite Mansion and still offer education and outreach with one of the I'm calling him one of the rising stars in meteorite classification, because there's not a whole lot of people worldwide that do it, and he has crushed over 200 so far, and he takes pride in knowing that he is the classifier to the Knowledge Bull-Eyed crew. So
top shelf.
All right.
Yeah, can't get cooler than that at all. Does anyone have anything that is super important they would like to say about Tucson or a rock show in general?
Only that if you see something you're looking for, like the latest fall from Libya or wherever, okay, you found it at X and such's room at this hotel. Don't buy it till you go around the rest of the show and see who else has it, because there will be differing prices. Suit yourself. You may find a better specimen, whether it's at a lower or a higher price, or you might just be going for price only, but shop around.
That is great advice, Ben, because you may find a lower price or you may find the same price, and the price is the price, but you find the piece that you love and you have to have it. So that would be an obvious advantage. Most times when you walk into a meteorite vendor hotel room, they'll give you, if you're serious and you're making selections, they'll give you a tray and you can put all your meteorites on the tray and walk around and carry your booty with you. I have no problem at all making rational, well thought out decisions with my meteorites on hold and me walking outside for a nice little vape or a phone call or just a stretch, get my eye off my eye loop for 15 minutes, get back to focusing more than 2 inches from my face, and then make a decision. Is that what I really want? Go back in and ask and tell them, yes, I do want to make that purchase, or here's the changes I make. So you don't have to jump on a purchase. You can negotiate, you can shop around, and you can also, within reason, ask them to put something on hold while you make a decision, in a reasonable amount of time.
Parking is going to be like limited at the Tucson City Center Hotel. So get there early, or you're going to be circling the block looking for an empty space when you get there. But there will be plenty of parking at the hotels on the west side of the freeway, but they're pay to park and you'll have to do a lot of walking. So wear comfortable shoes, bring plenty of cash, not just for meteorite purchases, but to pay for parking. And you may have to come back to the same location later in the day if that was where your best buy looked like and you return.
They have those shuttles. I don't know if they're running this year, but they used to have the shuttles.
Yeah, there's a pretty good mass transit bus system in Tucson that runs extended hours during the show. There's some Uber, but and services like that. What we do is just carpool. We just get together and go, hey, we're hitting this place up. Everyone hop in and let's go. I do want to offer a closing warning, however, because just like everywhere in life, there are things that are mislabeled, there are things that are misrepresented, and then there's outright scammers and thieves. Just because you're in Tucson doesn't lift that veil away. You still have to be extremely careful with what you're doing and make sure you're not paying for something that's not what it is in the meteorite world and also in the mineral world, because there are some very expensive things being sold there, and I have no knowledge of it whatsoever. So that's my closing warning to you guys. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this abbreviated little very unedited edition of the Knowledge Bolide Hangout. We're going to continue the Hangout with show and tell for everyone on an unrecorded show. Thanks a lot and have a great week, guys. I'll see you in Tucson.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Have fun.